Hello and welcome to Rocket Team's Motorsport for career part number 1 for F2. As you can see, us picking the Red Bull team with AlphaTauri to start off with. This is how we're going to have everything going for the race. We're going to have a full quali, which ultimately puts practice length to medium. I thought about 50%, maybe 100%, putting it up to 110%, of course. Might as well just chuck it in at the deep end, see what it's like. Thought about having 100%, maybe. Yeah, we'll go on to damage. Put on full for now. Might change that to simulation. In fact, yes, yeah, we'll go for it. Let's have simulation damage and all our assists off because that's the way we roll. Going in here with the F2, we're going to have virtual University team. So that's all set. As you can see, straight away we've already got a fault. So that's going to start this season up quite nicely for our first ever career mode in F1 2020 game. So here we go then, in the practice session, just testing out our setup, and as you can see, it's very loose on the rear. Going through there, we didn't even do anything wrong, not even too much curb, didn't even touch the curb, and around we go. And the same thing happens again, and that's another spin, this time with 4.5 minutes to go. Now this will be our last run on these medium commander tyres. Don't want to lose too much time here. We are down on our delta slightly, we lose the rear, and again, and that is us in the wall, and that is our practice done.
Look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top three.
And in fact, that's us starting last as well. Now going on to qualifying here. Looks to be very, very dry going into this one. Hopefully not starting last, but if we start last, I know I can cut through the pack quite early on. So here we go then, 10 minutes left on the clock, round the last corner, hit the apex perfectly. On the power, didn't really risk it much on the medium command tyre. But we're coming up to the line. What's this lap time going to be? It's 1.1 seconds off P19. And we have validated our last run here as well. So now, with 58 seconds on the clock, no flashbacks we are using, no rewinding at all. Heading into hit, anything that we can get is going to count to this. We could have braked later, but he hit the apex perfectly. On the throttle we get a little bit of wheel spin there. On the throttle the whole time though, pretty neatly through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Now heading up to the right hand, that we want to break it, this braking board there. We hit it perfectly, miss the apex slightly, but we get the car straightened up nice and quickly, and already we're 1.5 tenths up. Now going through the right hander, get a huge oversteer, and we lose time there. And straight away read our delta to our medium lap time. Now going through the right hand and kind of mess it up a tad. Get on the throttle, straighten the car up, and away we go. And we're green on our delta. Now going through the tricky left hand, we lose the back end. Twice we had to oversteer and understeer there to correct the car, and we lose a lot of time. I don't see this being an improvement, but we're going to keep trying and putting everything into this lap time. Now going through the left hander here. Hitting the apex perfectly in third gear on the throttle, no wheel spin, no sideway action. However, we do miss the apex here, and that is going to cost us more time. We're going to be gaining time, not losing time. Now going to the right hand, and we miss the apex again. Oh, what a terrible lap. The amount of apexes we missed. This is dreadful. Now coming into the last corner, we've just got to absolutely send it. Brake as late as you dare. On the brakes, in third gear, get the car rotated, coming up to the line. We are green at the moment, and it's going to stay green all the way to the line. We improve our final lap, but that's not enough. And sadly, that means we're starting last for the Bahrain Grand Prix in F2 for round 1.
As we wind down from the excitement of qualifying, here's a look at your top three. Ilott, Matsushita, and Antoine Hubert. Hello and welcome from the Bahrain International Circuit here in Sakhir. Down on the grid, the engineers are making their last checks, and today's race will be underway shortly. Bahrain represents an exceptional 3.36 miles of racing. Lots of opportunities to overtake throughout its 15 corners. Now, this track has a reputation for being brutal on the rear tyres, so keep an eye on how these young drivers manage their rubber. Strategy here could ultimately determine the winner of this race. Davide, you're a three-time winner around here in 1 week, I believe, back in 2012. How on earth do you make the tyres last around this racetrack? They degrade so quickly.
To be honest, the key to the race is having a good start so you can get your car into a good position. Then, save the tires as much as you can and push just at the end.
Well then, after an exciting session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Callum Ilott has a good view of turn 1 from his pole position slot, and Nobuharu Matsushita completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hubert, King, Jack Aitken, Ander Lacey, Correa, Schumacher, Mazepin, Guan Yu Zhou, Boccolacci, De Vries, Nicholas Latifi, Ansete Camara, Galeo, Delatraz, Calderon, and Ralph Boschon, Raghunathan, and the rookie. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So there you have it, guys. We're starting last, and that's not really where you want to be at all. Here you go, here's my view. As you can see, all the people around us at the back. We've got a lot of work to get through, and that is going to be a long stretch. Here we go, race strategy instructions. You can see this is our first ever career mode as well. Never done it before. There's our setup. Not really that good. Don't use it. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the F2 Grand Prix at Bahrain is underway for us. We get a good start-ish. We're alongside P19 there, but it gets us. We're going to go to the inside or the outside. We're going to choose the outside just because he went to the inside. And we make up a couple of positions around the outside. I did think about going up the inside of BWT there, but he has the corner. We're going to slot in right behind the Sauber driver on De Vries. Now, Delatraz and Latifi behind us. And it looks like Delatraz is going to box us in here, and De Vries breaks way too early, all over the place. And we lose 2 positions there as Latifi gets us as well. Now Latifi in F1 currently not really doing that well in the Williams car. Anyway, going to the left hand, we're going to dive bomb in here on the right hander. Did think about dive bombing the Sauber too, but I think that would just be too aggressive on simulation damage. Now on the exit, we get the position and the move done. So Latifi backs out of it. Now going to the fast left-handers. Difficult corner, probably the most difficult corner on the course in fact. We're in P16 right now though, so good start, gaining 4 positions, not the end of the world. But as you can see, we're pulling away from the cars behind us and losing from the cars in front of us. Bit bizarre, I have to admit. I thought the cars behind us would have stuck with us because it's slipstream. I thought we would stick to the De Vries, but we haven't. Now driven through the right hander. That is the apex that we missed in quali. So at least we can hit it in the race, and we hit that apex too. And still, well, we did actually lose a little bit of traction there at that corner, but still we're nowhere near De Vries. Heading into the last corner then, can we dive bomb De Vries, or we're going to have to sit behind him for a little bit. We're going to choose to sit behind De Vries, get a nice exit, and see if we can just stay with him on the straight. And already that has not worked in our favour, as De Vries is pulling away, and the cars behind us closing up a little bit. Engine overheating now, you saw that as well. So this is not a good start to this Grand Prix or the season, being stuck in P16 at the moment, but it is only lap 2 now. Going through the left-hander, the back end steps out a little bit, and it steps out again, and we lose a huge moment there. And we lose the position to Latifi, and we go into P17. That is not good. As you can see here as well, we've lost touch with Latifi because of that moment. Lost the DRS, but now we're trying to push up and catch Latifi again. Going green in our sector times as well. So can we possibly just catch up to Latifi, get past him maybe here? Go through the fast, well, slowish left-handers. The trickiest corners on the course because you don't know what it's going to do to you. Now on the throttle, steering wheel is straight, and we still lose the rear, and we're into the wall, and we've got damage. Are you joking? There you go, in the wall we go, and that's that. Game over, basically, for our race and our chances, but there could be a safety car later on, so we're going to keep going with this race. We're going to box now, change our front wing. It's just not great. Starting last, didn't really have the pace around this track either. We have got another race round here, but we're going to be starting last again unless we can get some positions, because, yeah, every position matters at the moment. In F2 for us, as it is our first season. But we do hate this track, it's not a strong one for us. We get release, and as you can see, a 17.8 second pit stop, and that is just basically game over. You can see the car's already a full pit stop in front of us, if not more, 47 seconds. and we haven't even exited the pit lane. I'm sorry, but I think this is game over. But we get released out of the delta, and into turn 1 we go. See how much grip these medium tyres are going to give us, because we have to push immediately. Now going on the exit, going through the fast left-hander. Before we even get there, we get a huge slide on. So I know these tyres are not going to be particularly warm. We're going to have to be warmed up through this lap. And as you can see, it says they're green, so well, we're clearly not. Going through this tricky right-hander here on the gas. Not really picking up time, I have to admit. It's more of just sturdy and steady. And when you've got to catch up to a 55-second gap, this is not a lap you want to be doing. As you can see there, another mistake as going through the right-handers again. I have to admit, this Bahrain track is tricky, especially when you run no assist and you do run assist. Missing the apex hugely there. And by the way, if you think this is already fair enough, because the AI are running assist, I still refuse to turn off the assist, turn on the assist, sorry, because I think assist is just not fair. Return racing line off as well, by the way. That is a new thing for career mode. I've seen a few little things in other people's careers where they have racing line on and that. Not really interested. So we are going to keep racing line off. All the assists off. Coming through the right hander. Looks slow again through there. And I have to admit, this isn't the fastest ever lap, but we do have to save the tyres. We have got to get around another 28 times around this track. And I hate it. I pretty much hate this track. Baku's the next one after this round of racing, so that would be a good track for us maybe. As you can see, a setting lap time, not even going green on our deltas, not even improving, which only means the AI are pulling away. As you can see, this, yeah, another mistake, but we are going green this time. You can see how much we're pushing, going on to lap 7, and we beat off our lap basically by 1.1 seconds. So as you can see, there is time to be gained on our own lap time. And that has basically kept the car in front of us the exact same gap as last time. It's still 54.7 as you see going down now, but we're only going to go by what happens over the start and finish straight, because they are at a different course. They're at a different place on the course at the moment. Until pit stops maybe play in and we can get a load of positions by doing that. In second gear, shifting up late. Once again, could have got that corner a bit faster, but we're still going green on a lap considering we've done that. So we are still pushing relatively hard, going around the last corner, and we spin out during the race. And if it wasn't already game over, it is basically now. But we're going to press on still. The tyres going to be a little bit hot going around this right hander. You can see the tyres oversteering. We go on the curb. The tyres are just too hot after that spin, and we're in the wall and we are out of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And that is that. Career mode race 1 over and done with. We're in the wall and we are out of the race. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave you with the presentations and everything. Have a great rest of your day and goodbye.
Brilliant stuff from Charus today. What a superb victory. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
Looks like they're on their way out onto the podium now, and what a result this is. And a popular one with the crowd as well. Great stuff to see the Charus team on top here today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a good result for Callum Ilott, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And